Have you ever wondered how decisions are made within NATO, one of the world's most powerful military alliances? More specifically, how much influence does Turkey wield in these decisions? NATO, short for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is a behemoth of collective military power, bringing together 29 nations in a unified front. Its structure is built upon the principle of collective defense, where an attack against one member is considered an attack against all. Decisions within NATO are made through consensus, meaning all member nations must agree for a decision to be implemented. Enter Turkey, a key player within NATO, situated at the crossroads of Europe and Asia. Turkey's strategic geographical location, coupled with its robust military capabilities, make it a heavyweight within the organization. But it's not just about military might or geographical convenience. Turkey has shown that it can use its position within NATO to influence decisions and further its own interests. Take, for instance, the case of Sweden and Finland wanting to join NATO. Turkey's opposition has stalled Sweden's accession, thereby demonstrating its significant influence over NATO's decisions. The reasons for Turkey's resistance are tied to the PKK, a Kurdish separatist group that Turkey wants Sweden to disavow and extradite accused members. In another instance, Turkey's resentment of Sweden and Finland, originating from a 2019 arms export ban, has led to internal divisions within NATO. This shows how individual member nations, including Turkey, can prioritize their own goals over collective security, thereby weakening NATO's united front against common adversaries like Russia. Even the fate of Sweden within NATO is tied to an F16 deal between Turkey and the US. The decision of whether the US will sell F-16s to Turkey can sway the balance for Sweden's NATO accession. As we can see, Turkey holds a significant position within NATO, capable of influencing key decisions. One of the most prominent examples of Turkey's influence within NATO is the stalled accession of Sweden. Let's delve into the background of this geopolitical tangle. Sweden, a peaceful nation nestled in northern Europe, has long maintained a policy of neutrality. However, recent years have seen a shift in this stance, with Sweden expressing interest in joining NATO. This move is largely a response to the ever-looming Russian threat, a concern shared by many European nations. However, the path to NATO membership for Sweden has been anything but smooth, and Turkey has been a significant roadblock. Ankara's opposition to Sweden's accession is deeply rooted in a complex issue: the Kurdish separatist group known as the PKK. Turkey views the PKK as a terrorist organization, and its stance has been a point of contention with Sweden, which has been accused of harboring PKK members. Turkey's demand is clear. For Sweden to join NATO, it must disavow the PKK and extradite accused members. This issue is emblematic of Turkey's broader strategy within NATO, where it leverages its position to influence the alliance's decisions and push its own agenda. Tensions between Turkey and Sweden are further fueled by an incident in 2019, when Sweden joined other European nations in implementing an arms export ban against Turkey. This move was seen as a significant slight by Ankara, and it has only deepened the rift between the two nations. At the heart of this issue is a question of priorities. On one hand, there's the collective security of NATO, an alliance formed to counter threats like Russia. On the other hand, there's the individual goals of its members like Turkey, who are unafraid to flex their diplomatic muscles to achieve their objectives. Clearly, Turkey's opposition to Sweden's NATO bid showcases the significant weight it carries within the alliance. This situation serves as a stark reminder of the intricate web of politics, power, and influence that shapes the world's most powerful military alliance. But Turkey's influence doesn't stop at the accession of new members. It extends to causing internal divisions within NATO. This pivotal role of Turkey is particularly evident when we take a closer look at an incident that occurred in 2019, the arms export ban. Sweden and Finland, two non-NATO members, imposed an arms export ban on Turkey. This decision was a response to Turkey's military incursion into Syria, a move that was widely criticized by the international community. The ban caused a ripple effect of tensions within NATO, stirring up resentment and disagreements among member nations. Turkey, a key NATO member strategically positioned at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, felt particularly aggrieved by this ban. The move was seen as a direct affront to Turkey's sovereign rights to defend its national interests. This resentment was not just directed at Sweden and Finland, but extended to the larger NATO alliance, causing significant internal divisions. These divisions are not just a matter of hurt pride or diplomatic spats. They have real-world implications for the collective security and unity of the NATO alliance. Remember, NATO's strength lies in its unity and collective defense commitment, famously encapsulated in Article 5 of the NATO Treaty. An attack on one is an attack on all. However, when individual members start prioritizing their national interests over collective security, this unity is threatened. Turkey's response to the arms ban is a perfect example of this. Instead of working towards a resolution that would benefit the alliance as a whole, Turkey has chosen to use its influence to push back against Sweden and Finland, further deepening the divisions within NATO. As we navigate the complex world of international politics, it's crucial to remember that alliances are not static. They are subject to the ebb and flow of national interests, diplomatic relations, and power dynamics. As we can see, Turkey's actions have the potential to cause significant internal divisions within NATO. Another fascinating example of Turkey's influence within NATO is the F16 deal with the US. This deal represents more than just a transaction of military hardware. It's a complex web of diplomatic maneuvering and strategic posturing. The F16 deal, in essence, is a proposed sale of advanced fighter jets from the United States to Turkey. It's a significant transaction, not just due to the monetary value, but also because it signifies a strengthening of military ties between these two NATO members. However, it's not as straightforward as it seems. This deal is intricately tied to Sweden's bid to join NATO. Here's how. Turkey, as we know, has been a vocal opponent of Sweden's accession to NATO due to unresolved issues related to the PKK, a Kurdish separatist group. Turkey has been pushing for Sweden to disavow the PKK and extradite accused members, a demand that has so far gone unheeded. This stalemate has given Turkey an unexpected bargaining chip in the F16 deal. Essentially, the United States, eager to have Sweden join the NATO ranks, is caught between a rock and a hard place. If they go ahead with the F16 deal, it could be seen as a nod of approval to Turkey's stance on Sweden's NATO accession, thereby further complicating Sweden's NATO bid. On the other hand, if the US stalls or cancels the F16 deal, it risks straining relations with Turkey, a key NATO ally. The fate of the F16 deal, therefore, has become a litmus test of influence within NATO. It's a diplomatic chess game, with Turkey sitting in a position of significant influence. The US's decision on the deal will not just impact the US-Turkey relationship, but could also determine the fate of Sweden's bid to join NATO. So as we can see, this isn't just about fighter jets, it's about power, influence, and the delicate balance of relationships within NATO. The F-16 deal is yet another testament to Turkey's substantial influence within NATO. In summary, Turkey's influence within NATO is significant and far-reaching. The ongoing internal disagreements within NATO, largely fueled by Turkey's unique position and agenda, have unquestionably weakened the alliance's united front against Russia. One of the most vivid illustrations of Turkey's clout is the stalled accession of Sweden to NATO. Despite Sweden's desire to join the organization, Turkey's opposition has effectively put that ambition on hold. This situation is intricately linked to the issue of the PKK, the Kurdish separatist group that Turkey wants Sweden to disavow. This demand for extradition of accused PKK members is a clear indication of the sway that Turkey holds over NATO's decisions. The tension between Turkey and Sweden and Finland, partly rooted in a 2019 arms export ban, has further contributed to the internal divisions within NATO. Instead of presenting a unified front, members of the alliance are increasingly prioritizing their individual goals over collective security. This trend, driven in part by Turkey's actions, poses a significant challenge to NATO's core mission. The F-16 deal between Turkey and the United States is another testament to Turkey's influence. The fate of Sweden's NATO membership is, in a sense, tied to the US's decision to sell F-16s to Turkey. This scenario reflects the complex web of interests and power dynamics within NATO, with Turkey at the center of many key decisions. In the grand scheme of NATO's decision-making and internal dynamics, it's clear that Turkey plays a pivotal role. As we move forward, the extent of this influence and its impact on global security will undoubtedly continue to be a topic of keen interest and analysis.